It's that time of year when Aldi drop their yarn, so I'm going to put this jumper on in honour of this video, and let's get into it. Hello fellow yarn lovers, welcome back to the craft room. Oh, it's too hot for this, honestly. Anyway, right, so Aldi are going to be releasing some yarn. They release yarn every January/February and then every September. So this is the 2025 January yarn drop and we're going to discuss it, and we're going to start with the DK weights. Since I am a sad individual, I will be reading said yarn drop from my tablet because I have the Aldi app. Right, so the DK weight. Here is a picture of the DK weight, which I'm looking at on my tablet. It is the colours coral, sand, navy, matcha, khaki, pink, orange, clay, blue and grey. And I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same drop that they did in September. Just looking at it, looking at that hideous neon cream colour that I hated. Yeah, I think that they've just recycled the past yarn drop. Anyway, it's £1.29 a ball. If I click learn more about this product, it tells me that it's 100% acrylic, it's 100 grams approximately, and it doesn't tell me how many meters it is, which is a bit disappointing because people like to plan for projects. From experience with like 100 gram DK balls, it could be anywhere between 260 and 300. Like your style crafts and your yarn arts and stuff tend to be somewhere between there, so that's where it'll be. If you watch my previous Aldi video, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the meterage and not the yardage. I don't think they put the yards on, but I think I mentioned the meterage there. But I mean, it's coming out on Thursday, so literally 6 days from me recording this video it's going to drop. So I will be doing a shop with me in Aldi, so that video will be out next Friday, like as an extra little bonus video because it's the Aldi yarn drop. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that they recycled the colours. It would have been nice to see some neons in there, maybe even a black. I mean, I go through a lot of black and I go through a lot of white just on random projects, and I'm always like, the cats were just fighting. Anyway, I go through a lot of black yarn, I go through a lot of white yarn, and yeah, like it would have been nice to see like black and white there because those are like staples. Not mad at it entirely, but it could have been a little bit more creative instead of just recycling what they did last year. Anyway, let's move on to the Aran weights, which are shit. So here's the Aran weights. It's just recycled from last year basically. They have got a black and white in Aran weight. I mean, if you work with Aran weight, like great, you've got lots of black and white there to be your staples. They've just recycled like the black, the white, the like royal blue, the grey, and I don't know if they had that lighter colour. I mean, the product names white, aquatic, cobalt, nickel and noir, and they are pretty much just recycled from last year, and these are the colours that were still in the Aldi middle aisle baskets for like 2-3 weeks afterwards. People just weren't buying them, so I don't know why they've recycled them. And they don't even have crochet hooks or knitting needles out in this drop, so you'd think that things that didn't sell well, because I know there was a few like crochet hooks and yarn and knitting needles left last time, you'd think that they wouldn't put out things that didn't really sell well. But hey, I'm not a retail expert, so it would have been nice, Aldi, if you had dropped in some spring colours into the Arans, because people will still make garments and stuff this time of year because it is cold. Like, it was just snowing last week, so I wouldn't have minded some nice springy Arans to make myself something quite nice. And then same with the DKs I just didn't find very inspiring, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the chunkies. So there is a chunky and a super chunky, so I'm going to talk about the chunkies first. Now here is the chunkies. Now I like this colour palette. This is a nice colour palette. It's just a shame this colour palette wasn't in the Arans, because it could have made a nice blanket. Now yeah, chunky yarn can make nice blankets, but I just find like this type of chunky yarn, when you make blankets with it, it's not the softest. Like, I don't want to sit with a blanket like this over me if I make it with this yarn. I mean, some people might, but like for me, yeah, it's not for me. Like, I mean, I did make my little brother a blanket, like a pizza blanket. I don't know if I can find a picture. If I can find a picture of said pizza blanket, I'll put it there. But I made him a blanket out of Aldi yarn. I did make it with the chunky, and I think I used about 15, 16 balls, something like that. I think it was when they used to sell them in packets a few years ago, and I got the yellow, and it's only about 50-ish meters per ball usually of these, so I had to go through a lot. But I made the blanket. It was lovely. I actually keep meaning, because it was this time last year when I went, no, not this time, like February last year, I went to Turkey and I bought all the yarn to make you guys a pizza blanket tutorial. and I'm so sorry, I've still not done it. But you know what I'm like, I work full time, I have really bad ADHD, and I just keep on making other projects instead. But I will make the pizza blanket one day. I will make it. Just keep badgering me in the comments and just say like, where's the pizza blanket, woman? Get the pizza blanket tutorial on. So apologies, I will make it. The yarn is literally right there staring at me, all of it, the cheese, the sauce, everything, the pepperonis, it's there. So I will make it. But if you want to make your own pizza blanket, you can make it using this Aldi yarn. It's not the softest, but it's great to like have over the bottom of your duvet or something, or have as like a display piece, and when you fold it up it can be like a nice slice of pizza. But yeah, so it is nice for blankets. It's not the softest, it's not a blanket that I would choose to snuggle up with, but you know, it's nice, it makes a nice display blanket. Anyway, let's move on to the super chunkies, which I kind of found a bit disappointing. So the super chunkies, they are kind of, I mean, nice colours, but a little bit disappointed that these are very wintry colours considering we're going into spring. And I'm not really sure what I would make if I was going to get the super chunky yarn. And this one's £3.49 a ball, so it's quite a bigger ball. So it says 100% acrylic, 280 grams, and the colours are berry, caramel, navy and slate. Yeah, very wintry for it being spring, but yeah, and I wouldn't trust that how it says bright pink. It's not really a bright, it's berry. Like last time they brought out like a neon-y bright pink, it looked more red than it did pink when you were actually in the shop. So I don't know how true to colour these pictures are, considering they might not all be the same dye batch as well. But anyway, it is what it is. Not great springy colours, but I mean, if you like the colours, then when you've got a plan, then go for it. Let's move on to the fun yarns. So this I made with my fun yarns. Let me just get its details. So this one is Rainbow Ombre, which they brought out in September. They haven't re-released this colour. This tends to be the only kind of ones that they're really creative with. So this one, now don't be fooled by this picture, because it looks like it will make your garment work up stripy. Well, your garment, your blanket, whatever you're going to make with it, makes it look like it'll be stripy according to these, but it won't. It's chaos, okay? But it's pretty chaos. So this was like a mix of purples, blues, dark pinks, light pinks, tealy colours, and it's making me sneeze. And it's not stripy, it's like pure chaos. It changes colour like every couple of inches, so as you're working it up it just change, like every stitch on this is different. So I don't know if I can go in a bit closer. It's just literally double crochet this. I just made a panel on the back, a panel on the front. I just measured my favourite hoodie and I just made 2 rectangles. And then on this rectangle I stopped at about 2-3 rows before I got to the top, and then I just did that side, and then I just did that side, and then when I joined them together I just did front post, back post ribbon around the neck for like 2-3 rows. And then for my sleeves, I do have a decrease method which I use in my stripy cardigan video, and I'll link it down below if you want it, because I literally wrote down what I do. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I wrote it down and I put it into the video so that you can screenshot how to decrease your sleeves, and I kind of talked you through it there. So that's what I did, and then I just did front post, back post ribbing for this for like 3 rows. So yeah, and this honestly, like I have worn this so much. It's 80% acrylic and it's 20% wool, and it didn't itch me when I worked it up, and it doesn't itch me right now. It just sometimes I sneeze. But yeah, it's really nice yarn. They always do an ombre, so they do an ombre pink, they do an ombre blue like every year pretty much. It would be nice to see other ombre colours, like maybe purples or something, which would be cool, because if you're going to make like a scarf, I always make scarves, but if you are going to make a scarf, or if you're going to make blankies, you know, people like purple blankets, people might want yellow blankets, springy coloured ones. So the colours that are kind of like these, like the messy ones, not the ombre ones, we've got like a greeny yellowy colour, which is interesting. I want to see the actual ball. They don't have a picture of the ball, they've just got like the pretty pink one, the blue one, and then the blue ombre. They don't have like the actual like cake of the greeny yellow one there for me to look at, which it'll be really interesting. But I like the beachy coloured ones. It looks more beachy on the lollipop stick than it looks in the actual picture of it. It looks like, you know, the true chaos that it will be in the actual cake. And then the pinky one, which I really like, which is the one that I think I'm going to buy. I always like the princess ones, and look, I made my princess jumper last time, and this is what I really wanted. And Aldi did actually mess up last year. It took about 2-3 weeks for this yarn to come in, so all of like the Arons and the DKs and the chunkies dropped. And then these ones took ages to come in, and then eventually after stalking, they did come in. And yes, they are nice, they do wash well, they make nice clothes, and I was really pleased with this. So no qualms whatsoever with the rainbow yarn. I'm happy with it. It would be nice to see a few different colour palettes, like, you know, Aldi, live a little, get some neons in there. Why don't you make like a crazy one? Like for Halloween, they could literally do, because it's in September when it drops, Aldi, get some Halloween themed yarns out. People want chunky bright oranges to make pumpkins out of. People want, you know, all these rainbow yarns. You could do in like blacks and neons. You could get like confetti colours. You know, for these ones, these are nice for spring, so these look springy. Why don't you get some Christmas themed ones coming out? People will go wild for the Christmas yarn, especially if it's £1.29. Like imagine this in Christmas colours, that'd be amazing. And Aldi, if you do that, I'm suing you because you stole my idea. I'm joking, no, please Aldi. If you want to work with me, if you want me to design your yarn for you, I will do that. You contact me, okay? Anyway, so yes, I like this one. Just don't be deceived by the colours on the lollipop stick. It will be beautiful chaos. Okay, so the last ones. Now, the baby yarns. So baby yarns tend to be around about 95, 100 metres. So these are nice. I've got some here which I'm going to stick on Vinted because I bought it and I haven't used it. So there's some nice colours here. They kind of look like towels on this picture, like fluffy bits of towel wrapped on there. But these are £1.29 each. The colours are cream, pink, aqua blue, white, aqua stripe, blue stripe, peach and pink stripe. So it kind of looks like what they did last year. So they had some colours and then they coordinated the colours together. So like the blue stripe will match with the blue. So if you're making like a unusual stripy type project or like a baby blanket, it would look quite nice and they would coordinate. I don't know if all of them coordinate, but like it's quite a nice palette and it looks, you know, it looks nice and soft. It is nice and soft yarn, can't argue with that. So yeah, this is pretty springy, this is nice. Now again, when you're going to do this drop in September, Aldi, why don't you get some bloody Halloween and Christmas themed yarns out for this, because people will make fluffy socks. They won't just make amigurumi, or if they do make amigurumi with it, it could be like Christmassy things or Halloweeny teddies. You know, you've got goths out there which will love Halloween teddies on their bed all year round. People will make things like little dragon teddies or bunny teddies or loaf cats. Can you imagine Halloween themed loaf cats? Like Aldi, get some neon colours for once, will you? Anyway, so that is the yarn drop. Other things include a sewing basket. We've also got some paint by number gemstones, which are like £4. We've got there's a journal assortment, there's some fat quarters, sewing assortment, we've got a sketchbook, we've got some paint, we've got some artist pens and a mindful colouring book. So there's quite a few cool things on offer. It would have been nice if there were some crochet hooks and some knitting needles, but like, you know, they did drop some in September, but like what you'll find is people are picking up crafts all the time, and you might get somebody that walks into Aldi that had never considered like crochet and knitting and then sees the yarn. Probably, maybe not the DK from this drop, but in September when Aldi have listened to me and they start doing some nice neons, bright yarns, like cool things. I mean, look at the pinks here. Like, Aldi, get some inspiration, damn it. People will be attracted to the craft if you put the tools in front of them that inspire them. So Aldi, please, like, yes, you've done really well with some of the yarns on this one, but like, can we talk? Can we get some really good DKs? Can we get some good, for God's sake, can we get some good Aarons in there? Anyway, that's my 2 pence, and that's the yarn that's going to drop next Thursday in Aldi. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye!